Hello everybody, Gliderman here. So today we're back with another Blender tip, and we're going to be investigating edit mode. So previously we've been using object mode, which you can see that's what we're in currently, and that's what the Blender opens up with by default. And so that allows you to easily add objects and move them around the scene, but it doesn't really allow you to mess with the objects and change them. And that's what we're going to be investigating now. So, you can either click this and then click edit mode, or you can hit tab and that will quickly snap you back and forth between edit mode and object mode. Note, as Blender is a kind of perspective-based work environment, that if I press tab over here, it will switch, but if I press tab down here while my cursor is on the timeline, it will not switch to edit mode. Same thing like if I was over here. It has to be while I'm in that perspective. So, anyway, now we're in edit mode, and we can zoom in a little bit, and you can see that it's got little points here, right there, and you can right click to select them, and then if we zoom out, you can see it goes from orange to black, and orange is your selection, so I can select this one over here as well by holding shift and then right click on that point, and you can see that it fades out to there. If I was to click this, you can see it would just be orange to orange. And if I select all four, you can see the plane that those 4 points make up is also selected. And there are a couple different modes, so I could do edge select, and I can do face select, so that I can quickly, like let's just say, instead of grabbing those 4 points, I could switch to face select and just right click on the top plane. And if I pop back to point select, you can see all 4 of those are selected. So, let's do a simple little thing like building a little house, let's just say. So, I've selected everything by pressing A. You can see everything is now highlighted orange. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to click the subdivide. And you're going to see that's going to cut it up into a bunch of different parts. And you can adjust the number of cuts that it's done over here, so I can make it 2 or whatever. For now, I'm going to just set that to 3, so that you can see it's divided up into quite a few chunks, with 4 on each side. I was looking at it from this angle. So now let's get into some editing. Since we're going to be building a house, let's work on the roof. So I'm going to press A to deselect, then I'm going to press C to get the circle select. Now I can left click and drag, and that will select all of those points. I can press escape, and you can see those points are now selected. I'm going to press 1, which will jump me to front view, and actually, I realized I selected the wrong ones, so let's press A to deselect, C to bring up the circle select, drag down here, press escape, pop back to 1, or you can go to view and then front. You can see the different keyboard shortcuts were there. So now let's drag this up after we enable snap, so you can see that it's snapping to the grid line. I'm going to drag it right up to there. You can see it moved all of those points. And let's select A, or deselect everything by pressing A, and then press C and we'll select everything here. We'll orbit, and we'll press C and we'll select everything here. Escape, back to front view, and then we'll drag that up to there. So now we've got kind of a house shape. Also see this little orange point in the middle there, as and you can also see the little cursor. That is the origin. So if I was moving it in object mode, which I just tabbed back to, you can see that that origin is moving as I drag it around. If I go to edit mode, I select everything, I can then drag everything up, and that doesn't move the origin point. So now you can see that the origin point is down on the bottom. If I tab back out of edit mode, I can drag, and the origin point is on the bottom. So just a little tip there. Pop back to front view, and now let's make like a door. So let's make it in this area here. So what we're going to be doing is basically the inset So we can press either I, like that, or we can click on Inset Faces there, and you can see as I'm moving my mouse, it's changing what it's doing. So we're just going to inset right about to there, I'd say. And then we'll scale on the Z so that we can make it a little bit taller. And we'll have like a little threshold on the floor there. We'll scale along the X, narrow it in, and then we'll press E, which will extrude. You can see if I push that back like that, it will go really deep in, and I don't think we quite want that. So if we press Shift, we have a little bit finer control. So we can just inset it a little bit, because I think that's just good enough for now. You can also see I kind of designed it so that this house was ginormous, but that's fine. You can build whatever house you want. Maybe not as large as mine. It's whatever. So let's do face select, and we can do a window here. So just by pressing I, scale that in, and you can see there's this thickness number right down here, and let's make that 0.1, like that, and then we'll just extrude Z, and then we'll do that was X, I meant Y, there we go, by 0.1, like that. So now that we've got a window inset there, so I 0.1, E 0.1, or actually negative 0.1 there we go. And we'll do the same thing going around. So I 0.1, E 0.1, negative. And there we go. So now we've got windows kind of inset into our house there. Okay, so that's pretty good. And now we can just tab out of edit mode, and you can see we're back into object mode. You can see everything there. So now if we just give that a quick render, you can see there we go. That's what our house kind of looks like, which isn't very pretty, but let's just pop over to the cycles render real quick, and I'll pop that over to the GPU. We'll give that a whirl. Okay, so there we go. That's kind of what our house looks like. Now you can also expand this to be done on a variety of other objects. One of them is the Suzanne. I've kind of just pushed that house over there so that we can keep that if we want to. So we're going to just hit Shift A, which you can also do just the add menu, and then mesh, and then we're going to select the monkey. So there we go. Now we've got a monkey, and we're just going to pop into edit mode. You can see everything is selected there, and we're going to investigate the mirror modifier. So we're going to go to vertice select. We're going to go to front view, deselect everything by pressing A, pop into Z transparency mode, which is basically wireframe, or Z transparency. Pop into wireframe mode by pressing Z, and then we're going to hit B to do a box select. Left click and drag, and we're going to select everything going up to but not including the middle vertice line there. Then we're just going to hit X, and then we're going to delete vertices, and there we go. Now we've got half, and you'll see why we want to do this. If we just drag this out, we can pop over to the modifiers, and we can add a modifier that would be mirror modifier. So let's see if we can find that. There we go. So there's mirror, and now you can see that we've got a duplicate copy of that over there, but you can see we also can't edit those vertices like we can over here. So if I drag this one, it's instantly modifying the other side, and that's pretty good. There's actually quite a few other things that you can do with this. There's a lot of modifiers, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do in here. Knife, spin, duplicate, loop, cut, and slide, which is a pretty good one. But we aren't really going to investigate all of those. So let's do Z again, and then we'll go C, and then we'll select some of the ear here. And middle click will clear the selection, what you've painted. Let's just do that, and then select some of the vertices over here. So now we've got just the ear. There we go. And now we're just going to pop into this, and we're going to go, and we're going to rotate along the X. I'm going to turn it about 60 degrees like that. We'll scale it so that it's kind of huge, and then we'll just push it over a little bit like that. And it looks like we also need to go up some. So now we've got like kind of Suzanne giant bat ears, and that's just an example of one of the things that you can do in edit mode. And when you tab back, everything is one solid object with these modifiers. Do note, if you don't apply your modifiers before rendering, it can take a little bit longer because it has to generate those modifiers every time it's rendering, which can add up over time, but you probably don't need to worry about it. So I'm just going to make a couple quick modifications to our super monkey thing. So now we've got giant ears or wings or whatever you want to call it on our monkey. So I hope this tour of the Blender edit mode and how to get into it was useful, and make sure to subscribe to Gliderman's channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!